So I'm going to be working on the animations today, for the most part. Yeah, I have my stream playing for the most part. All right. So at the moment, our animations are fine, or like while they're playing, they're fine. But certain transitional animations aren't playing, or sometimes when we like hit a certain state, it won't play the animation, and that's because sometimes we're traveling to a random animation. Usually from the dash, I think that's when it happens. Traveling to another animation from the dash causes us to like bug out. It doesn't crash the game, but we get stuck in a certain animation unless we play an animation that starts immediately. So I'll try to explain what I mean in a second. We go into our player script here. So at the moment, animation tree is played, or the function animation tree only gets played when we switch between states. I think what we'll want to do is actually put it in our physics process so that it's running all the time and always checking what state we're in. We don't necessarily. No, yeah, we're still gonna have to check what state we're in, but it's always gonna update rather than updating when we switch between states. So right now we have this animation. Let me see. State. So we have the state change state function, and basically this is where we run the exit state and enter state function. And in the enter state is where we are changing all of our animations. I'm going to try to remove it from enter state and put it. Probably in our player animation function. We'll try putting it there because our player animation function doesn't really do anything right now. It just flips the player based on if they're next to a wall or if they are moving like left or right or something like that. We can actually look at player animation really quick. So we do have this animation loop variable. I'm not sure if we still use this anymore. I'm actually gonna look through our code. But yeah, all of our let's see, animation loop. Yeah, none of this looks important. It's really just when we're in the slide or climb state, and then when we're in the move or jump state. Actually, we don't even check what state the player's in. We just check what their motion is. Let's just look at animation loop. We don't do anything just yet with animation loop, and we don't do anything with animation entered either. So we might want to use it in one way or another. But for now, let's just remove all of it. We don't confuse ourselves. So for now, I'm just gonna make a new animation tree function. We'll call it animation new animation tree. And let me just back everything up before we do anything else. I have to add all of our executable files to the git ignore, because every time I try making a commit, it says like my files are too large. So we need to make sure that we ignore these files, the exe files that I'm exporting. Back this up. We'll call it just call it pre new animation tree. There we go. So it's going to look very similar to the current code that we have in our animation tree, but we aren't going to be using start anymore. We're just going to be traveling between animations. And that way, when we're running it in our physics process, at least this is what I saw online. We can keep this in our physics process, and we won't have to worry about repeating the same lines of code over and over again. Let's do travel. And you know what? It might even make sense to put this in our state logic, just so that there's less lines of code that we have to deal with. I'm gonna leave it here for now, but we'll have to see, because we do have transition animations, and that might complicate things. So for now, let's just put travel everywhere. So I know for sure our match current state. I know for sure our climb animation is not going to work with this method. We're going to have to rewrite something here. Need to learn how to spell. There we go. Let's go into our entered state function here, and we're just going to comment this out. And then in animation, player animation, I think we could just put it right up here. We'll do new animation tree of our state. All right. And this probably won't work. I mean, it might work, but certain animations won't play. Okay, so this works. Yep. That's so strange. Almost everything seems fine. Even our climb animation. Wait a second. It's surprising, you know, when like everything works. When, you know, usually you expect something to work and it doesn't, but right now it seems like I was expecting something to not work, and it's working perfectly fine. Yeah, so we are using... The only time we do change the animation is when we're running animation tree in while in state, but honestly, I think we should get rid of this. Does it still work? It does. Okay. Oh, well, let's fix this. Going from the climb state, and when we're like up here, we're probably gonna want to include some code that allows the player, once they're like at the edge of a tile, that they could just straight up climb up to the top. So right now, once we run out of wall, we just drop straight down. We enter you can see on the bottom, we enter the fall state. We go from the fall state back to the slide, and then back to the climb. So we'll have to fix that. Or, honestly, we might want to just... Oh. Okay, so if I just walk straight up, it doesn't work. But if I do that, we can walk straight up. So I have to figure out, maybe if the player's pressing up, we won't make them enter the fall state. We'll just make it so that they stop moving. We might even want to make them stop moving, like, right here. Although, let's see. We'll figure it out. I'm kind of glad this is a lot easier to work with. I'm gonna look at the climb state really quick because we were messing around with that a bunch last night. New animation tree. So honestly, we could probably just get rid of the old animation tree since this is working fine. So if our state is climb, if move up input, we travel to this. If current animation node does not equal wall climb, we travel to wall climb. Maybe we might not have to mess around with this. Gonna keep it as it is. So I'll start working on adding the new animations. Maybe we can start working on the transition animations too. Since this is working fine. Be pretty fun. Let me look at our animation tree right now. So we go from the idle to the idle run to the run. Let me see if there's an actual animation for this. If we make this active, play this. So idle run is just one frame. It's not too important. And we go from idle to idle run to run. And does idle run actually have a decent amount of time? Probably like 0.1 seconds of playtime, if I had to guess. It's, yeah, 0.1. Okay. What I'm gonna do here, I think we could technically add a script to idle run. I just want to see if it's actually playing. Probably is. So then we also have idle jump arc. We have idle loop. Honestly, I think we'll start working on the idle loop outro and intro. So what's cool is that we actually have it already in our sprite sheet. The only issue is that we go from I don't think that we need to go from either one, like all of these states. We don't technically ever need to go back into the idle state. It's always going to go into the idle run or into the jump state here. But I guess if we do, like, it does kind of make some sense to go into the idle state because we can go straight. Let me remove this here. Switch mode at end. Let's see. We're gonna have to make some sort of timer, which I think I already have. I remember working on this a while ago. Yeah, we have this idle timer, and so after 3 seconds of being idle, we'll start traveling to the outro. So let's do that. Idle timer. So on enter state, I'm gonna remove this. Oh wait, this is the wrong show letterbox on idle timer. Okay, let's go back. We want to keep this here. Oh. This idle timer was for something completely different. We'll duplicate this here. We'll call it idle animation timer. If our previous state was not read and our previous state was not birth, this is when we start the idle timer. We're gonna do it right here. This is just gonna happen all the time. Idle timer. Got 2 of these. Want to add new signal here. You know what's funny? I think we already had an idle animation timer. That's funny. Okay. So on our idle animation timer, animation state dot start idle, and then we travel to idle loop. We don't need this here. We just need to travel. Oh, actually, no, yeah, it shouldn't matter. As long as I think it does matter. It does depend on whether we're changing states first or if our animation. Okay, so our player animation starts first, and then we go into state logic, which I think we might want to switch these two around. Let's keep it the way it is for now. So idle animation starts, and we have to wait 4 seconds. On the timer, I'm just gonna print that we're starting the animation. And we'll make it 1 second so we don't have to wait 4 seconds just to see the results. Okay, so the issue with this right now is that since our animation player is always running in our physics process, there are going to be certain times, well, all the time, when we're always telling our player to switch to the animation, to the default animation. I'm wondering if in the idle state we can just always say go to the outro. I don't know if that's a good idea, but we might try it just to test it out. New animation tree over here. Travel to idle. In idle state, we'll say travel to idle. What do we call it? Idle loop outro. So yeah, we can kind of see it now. He does it pretty often though, so we will want to add a timer. But yeah, it does work, and you'll see that he changes color, and that's because that was the original color of the player. Might want to change that now. But yeah, I think it looks good. He plays. Place this one first, and then we go to this one where he looks left, and we place this one where he just looks like he's just looking up, and then the idle loop outro just looks like the same animation as idle loop, right? Which is fine. He just looks up there for a little bit longer. we might want to include a script on the idle loop outro just to say, like, once this animation here is done, to tell our player, like, hey, we're done. You can restart the timer. And then in our idle state, we're gonna have to check for that. Let's do this. Honestly, the timer here doesn't need to play the animation anymore. We go into the idle animation timer timeout. Let's get rid of this. I think what we'll say is, let's just make, let's see, we have player stats, jump, wall jump, player input. I don't think we have anything for animations. Say idle loop animation is equal to true. So we're still going to have that timer, and we already started the timer. Actually, idle loop animation is going to be false for now. What we'll do here is in the idle animation timeout, animation loop is equal to true here. So after 4 seconds, we'll start this. This is true. And right now it's set to whenever we're idle for a long period of time, but I think what we might want to do is have it so that once the idle animation is done, like the outro is done, that's when we'll reset the timer. Another thing that we could technically do is just have it. Let me think about this. We'll handle the first case, and then we'll move on to the second one, where it's basically when we exit the state, we want to make sure that we stop the timer. So on exit state. Oh, we already have it stopping. Okay, so I feel I've definitely worked on this before, and I guess it didn't work last time, but I think that's because we were playing animations in that enter state, exit state function rather than in our in the physics process. So let's go. There needs to be a certain point where we make idle animation loop set to false, and we're gonna do it in our exit state as well. Let's do this. So we could either let me see here. If we look at our animation here, I wonder if there's a way to like make it loop for a certain amount of time before we switch. I don't think there is, so we'll probably have to do this with our code. Okay, so what I think we could do here is just say we actually never use that variable. So if animation or if idle animation, idle loop animation, we'll do that. Else travel to Hey, how's it going, Sparky? I'm currently working on the I'm pretty good. So yeah, you might have seen in the server I posted that we didn't like the call with the publisher didn't go as ideal as I would like, or like it didn't go too well. But honestly, I think it was still a success. Just because we got a lot of information out of it. I think I know now what like more publishers or what publishers tend to expect. Yeah, so I know what the publishers are expecting now, and I guess maybe I was a little bit naive about it at first, but I think you're supposed to go in it like hoping for the best, have your eye on the prize, and then kind of like reevaluate yourself afterwards. Yeah, sure, we could do that. But yeah. So I don't think it's too big of a deal. I still think the Kickstarter is going to be really, really great. And it's kind of more. We actually talked about this, where it's like when people doubt you, it's kind of like more fuel. You're putting more gasoline into the fire, or something like that. You know what I mean? So I think it was good that we had that call. And they were really nice too. They were super supportive. They sent like a bunch of resources. They didn't say much about the game, but that's okay. I think we're on the right track. And I think I did fix the animations from last night. I didn't add the ones that you sent me, like the second one, just yet. I'm just working on the transitions, and I think we got it worked out. Oh no, I spoke too soon. It's really only here while we're in the... You know what is strange, though? Wait. So, the issue here, the reason why this is happening is not because of our animation player, it's actually because of our states. When we get stuck here, we're in the bounce... This is technically the bounce state. And so, we're not changing... If you look at the bottom of the screen, there's actually nothing showing that we're changing states. So I'll look at that next. But I still want to figure out the idle animation. So what I think we're gonna have to do is in our enter state. And this is what we're going to do. get used to nose. I was talking to my aunt the other day, and she was like, she's like in business, and like I told her what I was trying to do with like the publishers and everything like that, and she said like she was like super supportive about it, but she was like, you know, get used to getting told no a lot, and eventually you're gonna find someone who says yes. But it does take it does strike your ego just a bit, but I think because I was warned about that, it doesn't really hurt that much. Let's see. On the idle state, this is when we start the timer, and then what's strange here is that at the end of our timer, we set, I believe at the end of our timer, oh, wait. Let's see this. This is on enter state. So let's do animations. We start our timer when we enter the idle state. Let me make sure. This is the only time we start the animation, after 1 second. So that's strange because at the end of our timer here, we should set it to false. Set the loop to false. Or maybe we never actually set it to false. Yeah, we don't ever actually set it back to false. And so it's constantly looping to the outro. So what I could technically do is at the end of our outro animation. At the end of our outro animation, we can set the variable back to false. I don't usually like doing it this way, but I think it'll work. But before I do try it out. I'm gonna see if there's an alternative. And there is an alternative. So what we could do is we can add a signal to our animation player. We could say on animation finished. Let's just try it out first. We'll print out whenever an animation is finished. Print animation finished. Okay, so the thing that's weird about using an animation tree and an animation player is that I think the animation player or the animation tree takes over any signals that the animation player would have played. So let me look at animation tree and see if we could find a way for these to send signals. Add state machine, add blend space. No, okay. What we could do is check what the state is, what the idle loop, what our current node is. Let me just look at our animation tree real quick. Root active, process mode, advanced. Yeah, so yeah, we'll just grab what the current node is, and if the current node is our outro here, we'll set it back to false. And then once it's false, we'll just make our timer relatively long. Like it'll be like maybe 10 seconds or 20 seconds. That'll give us enough time to like switch back into the idle loop outro. So let's go back into our animation tree here. what I'll do, if idle loop animation is equal to true, we'll check if current animation node is equal to idle loop outro. We'll say animation loop or idle animation loop is equal to false. So we'll set it to false and then we can start the timer again. Yeah, so it works. Cool. So what I'll do is we're gonna set the timer to like maybe let's get rid of this. Oh, actually no, I'm gonna keep that. We'll set it to 5 seconds. Let's see if that's a good loop. Idle animation loop timer reset, then traveling to the outro again. Cool. There's some weird frame issue going on here, traveling from like one of the first frames, but I'll look into that. Like his face sort of teleports to the left a little bit. So when transitioning from the jump state, let's see when you go from idle to jump to idle jump arc to fall to the land normal, and then back to idle. All the animations that we're actually going through. So yeah, this is a little too much. We're gonna record what our old animation was, and only print it when we switch around. Current.
Alright, I'll get straight to the point. I found marijuana in the house. And while I never thought of myself as the type of father who'd have to drug test his kids, I'm willing to do just that if that's what
Let's
it
put
takes to find out
this.
who brought
Let's
a
put all
joint
of
to
this
house.
in our animation
Dad,
section here.
Lucy found something too.
Dad, I found a joint in Mom's dresser drawer.
So yeah, we go from idle run to idle, and then if we jump, we go from idle jump arc, or to jump to idle jump arc to land normal. And we actually never enter the idle state or the fall state. So what do we do here? We went from the run, entered the jump state, entered the run jump animation, then entered the run jump arc, then the fall. And then from the fall to the land normal. We actually never go from the... We never go into the fall state from the wall slide. Also, what's... Oh, we'll have to fix this. The slide looks a little weird. Alright, so we'll have to figure out what's going on from... Well, we have to figure out the slide state, and we also have to figure out why we never enter the fall animation from the wall jump? From the slide state. So from slide to jump... Wait a second. It does say we go into the fall state, but it's saying fall 2. This again. We go from run jump to run jump arc to fall, and then over here we go from wall slide. Wait. So from the wall slide, we should be entering the jump state, but right here, we're traveling to the fall, then we go into the land normal, and then back to the idle, and then back to the jump. So something's wrong here. Yeah, okay. So from code here, we want to go into the jump animation. So when we enter the jump state, we travel to jump. And then over here, from wall slide, we have to go into the fall state. Yeah, there's no way. I'm afraid this is getting too complicated. Not like all it really is me connecting these two here. But I wonder if there's a better way to organize this. Okay, yeah, so now we go from the... Now it's fine. Do we go into the fall state at all? Yeah, we do. Just takes a hot minute. So we might want to make the idle jump arc animation a little faster. Let's try to figure out what's going on with our slide state. We should be traveling to wall slide. So the issue with wall slide at the moment is when we're going from the jump state, we have to play the entire jump arc. Oh wait, actually, there's nothing taking us directly to the wall slide. So what we'll do here is let's see. It's both from the jump and from... It could go from anything, really. We can go from the fall state to the wall slide. We can go from the run jump to the wall slide. We can go from run jump arc to the wall slide. There's so many options here. And this is what I was worried about. Making like a spider web. So I'll have to ask. jump, and from this one here, there's so many. I'm just gonna do it for now. We have one from the fall. We don't need one from the run. Is there a second? This fall, and is there another fall anywhere? No, that's the only fall. Okay. What I think we could do is have multiple versions of the same animation, so that it doesn't look this crazy. Let me see. Okay, so it's called Fall 3. Doesn't really matter much what the animation is called, unless... Oh, we do have a second fall here. Okay. Let's just run it. There we go.
You missed my call last night. Got me wondering if everything is alright.
What we could technically do is keep another version of our animation tree. So we don't really need. So yeah, I think what we're gonna do is in that second animation tree function we have, depending on the state, like for the slide state, for example, if we're already in this state, we'll just switch to this animation instead of traveling to it. It does technically work right now, but if we start adding more animations, it's gonna get ugly, super ugly. I still think it looks ugly right now. Oh, what was that? We go from... Oh yeah, that's the issue with traveling to... Wait. It's only from the jump state, so we jump here, go here. We go from... Let's try that again. Changing animations in GMS is so much easier. Honestly, it hasn't been an... Like, is it easy to do, like, transition animations too? Because originally it wasn't that hard, but I also didn't have so many animations to deal with, and, like, transition animations and stuff like that. It could also be that I'm overcomplicating things. But yeah, okay, so we go from the... idle jump arc. Oh, damn. So, maybe I should switch to GameMaker. I heard that they're doing... I heard in another post that they switched to, like, a subscription service rather than, like, a one-time fee. I heard that, like, unless you already have GameMaker, I heard it was like a turn-off for a lot of people. Yeah, there's a start run. So, like, if you look at the bottom of my screen where I post everything, you'll see that I go from idle to idle run to run. rather than just switching the animation. And so the idle is like, the idle run is just the animation between run and idle. And then once you're in the run state, it stays on the run animation rather than switching back to the idle run. It's only one frame, and I don't think anyone's gonna notice, but in case, like, I'd rather work on this now, that way in the future, if we get some more sophisticated animations, it might, it'll be worth it. Alright, so let me see this one more time. We go from the idle jump arc from we go from wall climb, then we enter the jump state, then we're still in wall climb. Oh, we're in wall climb idle now, and then we're switching to up dash. Yeah, we switch to up dash, then land normal, then idle, then jump. That is not what we want at all. But we are going from the jump state to the fall state, so that part makes sense, but then yeah, at this point, we should be starting a different animation. If we're already in, if we've already switched to 3 different states and we're just in, like right here, but you guys can't really see what I'm looking at. We switch from the jump state. We're going from the jump state here to the fall state, then to the slide state, and then to the climb state. We're already in the fall state, and we're playing the fall animation like way too late. And so then we have to wait for this animation to finish, then we have to wait for the wall slide animation to finish, which is, I mean, it's only 0.1 seconds, but it makes a difference. And then we're going into the wall climb idle. And at that point, that's too much time. So yeah, we're gonna make another animation tree that checks if we're in a certain state, and depending on that state, we'll just start the animation. Yeah, changing the animation is just one line for Godot as well. Like, originally all I had was this animation. Here, I think I still have the code here. So yeah, you'll see here, I'll match a state, and then all I have to do is say animation, animation player dot play. In the idle state, all I have to do is just write dot play idle, and it'll play this animation. But yeah, we're not doing it this way anymore because we have all these transition animations, or the potential to add transition animations. I got rid of it. So what we'll do now is I'm going to rename. We have animation tree. We'll call this new state. We'll just call it new state animation tree. And this is only gonna, whoa. Yo, how's it going, Lepu Sepu? I have to like expand the chat a little bit. Oh, Lepu Sepus. There we go. Welcome to the stream, man. Oh yeah, there's something similar in Godot too, um, and that's actually what I could. That's also honestly, it might be easier than what we're doing right now. Um, I guess the animation tree is good for like really complex animations. Like we might not even want to use this whole thing here, um, because we're not really dealing with like 3D models or anything like that. Like certain games that use a skeleton to move the player around, it's a lot better to use an animation tree. Um, depending on your speed and stuff like that. But with simple sprites like this, it might make sense to do it the way that Game Maker Studio does it. Um, and you can do that in Godot too. So like right here, you'll see I have an animation tree and an animation player. What I literally could do is in our signals here, I even have the code here, is we check if the animation is finished. But the only thing is, if you do add animation, like transition animations, you're still going to play these animations you're still gonna have to account for them. And honestly, now that you're mentioning it, it might be easier just to do that. So Lepus, you asked, you're not seeing other people's chat, and that's because I'm streaming both to Twitch and to YouTube. But I have like a little thing that shows me both. Yeah, you'll see your YouTube icon here, and then Sparky's icon is right there. Alright, sounds good. See you soon. Alright, so what's the plan? We still... Oh, yeah. Okay. So what we're gonna do now is go into... What the hell? What did I call it? Animation. It's not showing. New state animation tree. So I'm gonna get rid of most of this. And current animation node. We could keep this. So for our state, match current state, Rosamac, I didn't realize it was you, man. How's it going? Now I remember that was your name. How's it going, man? Long time no see. Yeah, you can rewind in YouTube, and another thing I like about YouTube is that it automatically saves your videos, so like everything you play is there. That's awesome, man. I'm glad to hear it. Was it from that job? I remember you said like it was like a government job or something like that you got? Rosamac is if I remember correctly, it's a tank. and it's also like a wolf or something. I remember, but it's also like a tank, like some artillery army vehicle or something like that. Oh, Wolverine, right? And a tank vehicle. How are you liking it? What do you do in that your position? Hazumaki. At Nokia. That's awesome. That's cool. So for states that climb, all we need to do is grab our animation tree or our animation state and just start wall climb. Oh, wall climb idle. So what do we have here? You know, same old game. It looks a lot better from last you've probably seen. I'll show you. I'll showcase some of it pretty soon. I've been posting a lot of updates on the Discord, but we don't seem to. You're never there anymore. You're a busy man now. You're a working man, unlike us other devs, struggling to find to make it big. Oh crap. Enter state. That's what we need. So over here in climb, we'll say new state animation tree of just put states.climb. Hell yeah, you do. No, I'm kidding. But I did actually just release a new version of the game, so if you want to play it, feel free. Although I highly, highly, highly recommend getting a controller. It's just that much better with a controller. Especially since there's not a new mechanic, but like, I've been working on the grab mechanic a lot, and it seems more likely that mechanic is going to be almost, like, it's going to be used a lot. At least when I playtest the game, I use it almost all the time. And it gives you more like precision when jumping around. Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't mean to make you feel bad. I think we all get it, but we always appreciate we always appreciate when you're online. Is it like almost fully remote? So new animation state. Honestly, new state. Let's call this change state. Ah, I see. Full remote. That's awesome. We like that. There we go. Okay. So yeah, I'll showcase some of the game. Right now we're just working on the animations. Sparky is actually helping me with the new animations. And I'm just working on the code to make it like cleaner. He's no longer sliding down the walls, so you can slide down the walls, but you have the option to do both. So you can either grab the wall and stay in place, or let go. I have it set to the right trigger or left trigger, so you can hold on. And the reason why it like makes the game more precise is because if you're just sliding down the wall, if you hold left, it'll force you to jump right. But if you hold onto the grab, then if you hold left, you can basically hog onto the same wall. But it just makes jumping around a lot easier. Like, let's say I'm like right here. Maybe I just want to climb up, or maybe I just want to jump over. Instead, if I didn't have it, if I tried jumping over it, it'd be kind of hard. Or like if I do that, like if I like spam it, it might be hard. So like if your intention is to get over this tile here, you would want to hold the right trigger first. And it becomes more obvious in the later levels. Maybe, let's see if I can find some of them. Oh. So yeah, like even right there, you know, if I just held right, I might hit one of like that. I might hit the spike like that. But with the right trigger, I can like control where I want to go. I don't know if it's gonna be harder for people to understand it. It's very similar to how Celeste handles it, but I think their level design makes it easier for the player to like grasp the concept at first. I'm not sure. I don't remember how long or like how easy it was for me to figure out how that worked. Oh shit. But the way Celeste, the way I think the way Celeste did it is yeah, they took things slow, and they introduced the mechanic. The mechanic was always there. It's just it just wasn't as apparent. But after like I think it's the third chapter is when you have to know how to use this mechanic. And I remember actually playing that level for the first time, and I remember thinking like I couldn't figure it out. And I'm also dying a bunch right now because I'm like trying to talk and I'm like not focusing. So let me just try to get across here. Oh no. I think we have a spawn right here. Yeah, okay. Oh my god. You know what it is? I had to wake up early for that call with the publisher. So I'm only running on like 3 or 4 hours of sleep. I'm trying to find a good spot for me to show like when the grab is a lot better to use. Like, I mean, even here, let's say you've already used your dash. Jumping from here all the way up to that spring might not work. But if you were right here, then you could just jump across. Well, maybe not. Maybe that wasn't a good example. Let's keep going. So I mean, here might be a good. This is not the perfect example either, but you know, like let's say you wanted to jump from this side of the platform to the other side, it'd be a lot easier to do. And one of the reasons why I decided to switch into this mechanic was because this was like an issue that I always faced, which was like jumping up like a pillar, like something similar to this, where like there's two walls on either side, and I just hated to see people spamming left and right to get across, and so this just makes it easier. If you just hold on to one side of the wall, you're always going to get to the other side. And this is like the perfect example of using that mechanic, or the grab mechanic, or like a decent use for it. And another thing that's nice is that you can also climb up and down it. So let's say you're down here, and if you wanted to jump, you could jump, but like let's say you were right here, maybe you don't want to jump straight up, maybe you just want to move up a pixel or so. So yeah, that's like the perfect example for it. Originally, what you had to do to get up there was to like not press anything while you jumped, or while you did a wall jump, so you'd have to do something like this. And now I have to fix that animation a little bit. But yeah, I think it's a good addition to the game, but I need to figure out a better way to like to introduce the mechanic. Yeah, and like I said, on keyboard it's a little harder because movement is, you use arrow keys, and then you also use, I think Z is the button. So I think C is jump, X is dash, and then Z is the grab. So I mean, maybe because I'm so used to a controller, my muscle memory isn't good for the keyboard when playing a platform. I know people that do it, but I just know what works for me. Oh. If you're curious, Sparky Rosumek he helped like basically make the server what it is today, the game dev server. He's one of the admins. And he's also a fellow game dev, but yeah, he's been working a bunch lately, so he doesn't have as much time anymore. But he'll get back into it, I hope. So yeah, here's another good example of using the grab mechanic. Like, you have to use it here. And so yeah, like this part is a little, I feel like it might be a little too early to introduce this mechanic. That's okay. We'll work on that next. Or we'll see. I really don't know what to work on next. The animations, I think I'll finish like making, correct structure for it. Probably by the end of today. And honestly, I think it's already good. It's just a matter of like tweaking it to make the transitions perfect. And here's another example of the grab mechanic being really good. Oh, but not good enough. Oh, let me see something here. Oh, we do have to. There is another transition animation that's a little strange right there. You'll see like his hair flips up when I'm jumping up from the. Let's see here. Yeah, we go. It like plays the fall animation for like a split second. Let me see. We jump. From the jump state, we go from the up dash to the land normal. Oh yeah, so we go into the land normal. Need to make sure that we go straight into the jump. But yeah, everything's been good. Glad things are going well for you too. I had I don't think you were here when I mentioned it, but I had a call with a producer or a publisher, the first publisher that I talked to, and I mean they said no, like to the game, or like to help publishing the game, but there were like a bunch of reasons for it. But it was nice to talk to people, like to see what like that aspect of the industry was like, and I guess of course there's more money related to it and there's more risk involved. So like if they see a game that's like still early in development, doesn't have too much funding, stuff like that, then they're not as likely to invest into it. So it makes complete sense. And on top of that, the niche is not necessarily their favorite. Honestly, that part, I'm not sure if they were just saying that, but I disagree with that just because the niche can be still very popular. And it's not like oversaturated compared to like roguelikes and stuff like that. So yeah. I don't regret it at all. And I kind of went into it like knowing, like subconsciously, I feel like I already knew that they were gonna say no. But that was okay. You know, you go into it with confidence, hope for the best, and take full advantage. Like I had like a whole bunch of questions set up, just to see like what the industry was like or what their priorities are and stuff like that. Just so I know for like future, I don't know if you want to call it interviews, but for future, interactions like that, I'll know what to do, or I know what they want, so we can prepare for that. But yeah, I'm trying to start up a Kickstarter, make a Kickstarter pretty soon. But with that in mind, because of this like I don't want to call it rejection, but it is rejection. It makes me want to like fully commit to the Kickstarter now. So like I want to originally I was just going to stick to what the game looks like right now and go with the flow. But now I want to like put it into like overdrive. You know what I mean? And also I keep dying here. I'll have to edit this room. I know it's a little too hard. Like that exact edge right there is frustrating. You know what? I'll edit it right now. While we're here. Cat Jam, is that the song? How did I find the publisher? I think someone actually posted it on the Discord. Oh, it's I guess I don't see the emote on here. Yeah, I found the publisher someone posted it on the server. I was just like, hey, let me apply. But someone else posted like an entire list of like different indie developers. So like, I mean, I could technically, if I want to, I could just message all of these other publishers, but with the response that we got from the first one, I want to take my time, or like just make sure that the game looks perfect. Like the way we present ourselves on the Kickstarter, I want to present ourselves to other publishers. And another thing to consider when like getting a publisher is that, you know, obviously money is more of a concern for them. And so I need to make sure that like money is like the main thing that you probably want a publisher for is for the marketing. And if you can afford to like, you know, pay your team and stuff like that, you should. And I'm hoping that's what the Kickstarter will do. So we'll use the Kickstarter to like fund the team, and then the publisher will use to fund the marketing and the coordinating and all of that stuff that is kind of boring for the studio. Where's the... Oh wait, no, it's not this one. I need to get it on my channel. Let me see. I barely actually even go on Twitch. Someone recommended Streamlabs yesterday. I don't know if it's the same exact thing as Restream. If I could stream both to, I won't even be able to see the. If I could chat. Stream both. If I could. Oh wait, I can. Okay. Was the dude checking the game under the hood? Nope. From what I saw, he wasn't. And so that just makes me think that like maybe they're taking first impressions, which I understand. It's basically the way a regular user is going to look at your game. They're going to look at it the same way, which was surprising because I did a lot of research and they said that producers are more lenient when it comes to that kind of stuff, but from what like I kept hearing the publisher say that like these things where it was like, oh, your game, he didn't say it in like, you know, a rude way, but he said it like, he basically said my game looks very simple, like the artwork is very simple. Yeah, no, he didn't say anything about the code. I don't think he even played it. So yeah. So I'm sure if I looked at other publishers, they might play the game, but I also want to make sure that our demo is just perfect and the art, like the art at least needs to be perfect for like the first chapter, and like it needs to be beautiful, in my opinion, because that way, I feel like people are going to, or like, well, people and publishers are going to judge the art first before they even start to judge the mechanics. So, yeah, we'll have to get that straight first. 'Cause I mean, I'm fairly confident. I am still a little critical about the programming aspect of the game, but I think it's better than most games. Yeah, I do think one bit. Like, I do think that the art style is unique enough to capture someone's attention, but it still needs to be better. And that means, like, you know, right now these lamps don't look that good. I mean, these single tiles don't look that good. We don't really have a good background. There needs to be more decorations, in my opinion. I do need to up the lighting of the game, stuff like that. There's like a lot of subtle things that need to be fixed. But you know, when you mash all of that together, then it becomes a masterpiece. Oh, and here, I'll show you what else I've been working on. need to rename these windows, 'cause, like, complicated. Do I need to buy followers? I mean, my plan with the Kickstarter is to message everyone, like, just to get the starting count really high. So yeah, like, I'm gonna be messaging all my friends, and I already messaged some of my friends and they were all for it, and I'm sure my family will be all for it, and so I'm hoping that's enough to, like, boost us to the top page, or, like, boost us into the trending section, and then at that point it's just up to us to like impress the people that don't know the game. Oh shit. That's not good. I have another display. Oh, we're still on. Oh no. No, we're good. Alright. Let me share this. So yeah, this is the Steam page, where, like, it's kind of part of the marketing. So this was the draft. Here were, like, a bunch of different versions he made, but I went with this one. And then here's, like, the draft. Wait, no, not this one. Here's the draft of it, and now he's working on finalizing it, and this is what it's gonna look like. Although, now that I'm thinking about it, I would like the player to look more feminine, but I'm not gonna do that just yet. I don't want to keep telling him. I don't want to keep, telling him to change stuff. So we'll stick to this one for now, and then eventually we might want to make this character look more feminine. I want him to look more, like, ambiguous, kind of like Celeste, where I don't know if you know this, but, like, the editor or the developer of Celeste, he actually said, like, originally the character was, just some random girl, but eventually they said that it was like, she was actually transgender. I mean, I'm not trying to, like, I'm not accusing him of anything, but it does seem like a pattern with, like, certain games where they're like, what is it, like, J.K. Rowling was like, oh, half of these characters are actually gay, or something like that. Yeah, it's not supposed to be feminine, it's just supposed to be ambiguous. So that, like, I think Sparky and I were talking about this yesterday, where, like, anyone could, like, could relate to the character, you know what I mean? So whether you're a girl or a boy or anything in between, you could be Jacob. So he's no longer Jacob, he's... What's a name for, like, both women and men? Or anyone? Like Alex or something. He's Alex. Alex's afterlife. Alright, I think we fix this room here. I don't know, it was just a random name. I think we're gonna stick to no name. But, the OGs, like, everyone who's seen my game first, he'll always be known as Jacob. Even with this crutch, still can't beat this room. Oh my god, alright. Final try. We're serious now. There we go. So yeah, we still need to fix the animation for this right here. And all it really... what's cool about writing this enter state, or what do we call it? Change state animation, is we can check what state what our previous state was, and then based on that, we'll play a certain animation. So if we'll do it right now actually. So if states dot no states dot jump. So if our previous state was states dot slide, or previous state was states dot climb. If it's either one of these states, we're just gonna start the jump animation. Did I get any rewards for this game? What do you mean? And yeah, he is just like RPG Maker Alex. So I think we could just travel to jump. There's run jump too. Let me see here actually. No, actually run jump is a transition animation. So we're gonna go. So yeah, it doesn't matter too much. We actually don't need these transition animations anymore because we're just gonna start the animation right away. So we go back here. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, so I deleted the text chat, so anyone on YouTube won't be able to see the chat, but at the moment there's no one on YouTube. So it's still playing the len normal. So we go from climb to up dash to idle to jump, and then from fall. So, oh, because we never included it in our jump state. So what we'll do here, we'll go into our enter state function. You know, we actually might want to include this we might want to include this not in every single state, but we could just put this in our enter state, and we already have it here. And then it'll just check for what states that we're in. I'll do that next. I don't know what that is. What's dithering? Oh, it's like, is it this right here? This stuff? Wait, what? Okay. So once we move into the idle state, we want to once we move into the move state, we want to make sure if we are in the idle state, that we travel right away. So we'll do that next. But let me see here. It still hasn't updated. Let me restart the game. Let's bring our player over. So yeah, I don't see a problem with dithering. We actually have some of it on our lamps, but we might want to update it a bit. So we haven't fixed the jump animation just yet. You know what it is? I think um, change state animation. Previous state was equal to slide or jump or climb. You know what we're gonna do? Let's erase this. So this is on our enter state. I believe, change state, just make sure. Yeah, the states have already been updated. That was my grandpa, everyone. You might have seen him shirtless. Hopefully Twitch doesn't, I don't know, I don't think they do anything about shirtless people. Ah, the food delivery, yes. Although this isn't necessarily appealing to me. I'll save this for later. So an interstate. Oh, and that sounded like I was ungrateful for the food, but I'm not. I do appreciate it, but I usually don't eat until like way later. Yeah, a random hand that shows up and gives me food. So yeah, we have a new animation tree. But it doesn't play. Oh wait, I think we ran the wrong function. Should be change state. Now you see him. So on the topic of music, I'm willing to like change the songs and stuff like that. It's just that I feel like Vampire's Piano has been like the perfect loop to play like for the song, but I am down to like play other things. It's just it's on the lower end of the priority list right now. So yeah, if you want to talk about it like in DMs or something, we could. It's just yeah, like it's like really down low on the priorities, and like for like the music, I would like something more not necessarily intricate, but like yeah, a little bit more complex, just for like the first impressions. But it's also hard to ask someone, you know, hey, do you want to make music for me? Hey, can you make it, quote unquote better? And like, I don't like asking for that kind of stuff. So yeah, I apologize if I didn't really get back to you on that. Sure. All right, I'll see you, Rosemac. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, that's good to hear. I like getting criticism as well. I'd rather people be, you know, as forward as possible with that kind of stuff. Let's see. So, did it work? Didn't work. We're still playing the jump animation. So, let's see here. Or we're still playing the land normal animation from the. Let's see here. We go from the jump to the fall to the land normal to the idle. Why? If our previous state was states.slide or previous, let's print this out. Okay, so what's happening here is we are starting the jump animation before we actually, or the if statement for starting the jump animation is going straight. It's starting first, and then we're entering the jump state, or at least that's what I'm getting from our print statements here. Let's just look at our enter state real quick. So it actually doesn't matter. We do print this afterwards, but in reality, the states have already been changed, so it's not a big deal. But when we're entering and exiting the states, that's the if statement is printing out right here. It says starting jump animation, and yet our current animation is up dash. You know what it might be? I assumed maybe it was because this needed to be capital, but that's not the issue. Animation state dot start. Let's print this out. Let's see what our current animation node is. So starting the animation doesn't seem to work. We're still on our current animation is still set to up dash, and then we go through normal, and then we eventually hit jump. Is there an issue with no? The if statement does work. You know, we're going from climb. And running this. So we're already in the jump state. Let's see. The thing that's strange about this is that it does work with the other animation. Let me see. Animation state dot start. It works with this one, but for some reason it doesn't work with the jump. Make sure it actually works with the jump or with the climb animation. We go. Yeah, so the second we hit the slide, it changes into the slide. Then jumping from here. Oh. Let's do this real quick. Jump, climb, jump out. So we'll go from. Let's see. from idle to jump to fall to slide. The second we hit fall, or the second we go into slide, or I guess the second we go into climb, that's when it's important. We could set it up to do the same thing for climb or for slide, but yeah, the second we hit the climb state, we go into wall climb idle. Whereas when we're going into the jump state, from the climb to the jump, we go into up dash. I'm not sure, guys. What I think I'm gonna do is I'm probably going to take a break and I'll stream later today. I want to see how long I've been streaming. Yeah, we've been streaming for like 2 hours. 2 hours now. Yeah, I'm gonna take a break. Thanks for watching, everyone. You guys have been like great company. I'll see you around.